The Verkhovna Rada has closed today's session and was unable to dismiss two ministers. The opposition blocked the podium for Justice Minister Herman Halushchenko and Energy Minister Svetlana Hrinchuk. Let me remind you, today the parliament was supposed to consider the resignation letters of two ministers who were implicated in the NABU corruption investigation, Operation Midas. And our correspondent from Essena, Ihor Bondarenko, is currently near the Verkhovna Rada and knows more details. Igor Evgen, if I understand correctly, there will be no resignations of ministers today. Tell me more about why and what happens next. Greetings, Holiday. Yes, indeed, the meeting was suspended. More precisely, Golovucci announced a break in the meeting. Then Ruslan Stefanchuk invited the leaders of the groups and factions to his office to try to figure out how to resolve this corruption political crisis. And before this, basically, there were only two issues on the agenda today. These are two draft resolutions on the dismissal, as you announced, of two ministers. Yulia Sviridenko was supposed to present them. However, at the beginning of the meeting, as always, the leaders of the groups and factions can speak. The main topic, of course, was the Mindish tapes and the corruption scandal. Dmytro Razumkov even decided to present his position in an original way. He brought a soft toy of Carlson as one of the figures involved in this case. And he said that Carlson has flown away, but he needs to be brought back. And now it's up to law enforcement to handle it. The opposition declared that the government has lost the public's trust and that a complete reset of power is needed. And at least Bud announced that they are initiating a collection of signatures for the government's resignation. Basically, European Solidarity also spoke out with the same slogan, and it was they who directly began blocking the podium, which prevented today's session from continuing. We can take a look at how it happened.
Petro Alexievich, so am I right in understanding that you will be blocking it, correct? Absolutely, and accordingly. You won't allow the dismissal of the two ministers today, right? Dear colleagues, let me just once again. Dear colleagues,
let's be honest, there wouldn't have been enough votes to dismiss these two ministers because visually there were not 226 votes in parliament, and the opposition once again insists that firstly, they want to hear from the two ministers and the prime minister, and they also insist that there should be a full presentation by the government and a complete resignation of the government. The meeting basically ended with this kind of crisis, and now in Stefanchuk's office, they are deciding what to do next. There will also be a meeting tomorrow, and of course the first issues on the agenda will be the resignation of the ministers. How it will turn out and what agreements will be reached, we will find out later. Thank you. We will, of course, continue to follow how this all ends. That was correspondent Essena Bondarenko from Parliament, where today they were supposed to consider the resignation statements of ministers involved in the corruption energy scandal. But the Rada has already closed the session.